I'm sitting here in the Scottish Storytelling Centre with Mairi Campbell after watching the triumph of her Auld Lang Syne show last night at the Edinburgh Fringe. So Mairi, thanks for saying a few words. 4 more nights to go.
4 more nights to go, that's
How's
right.
it been?
Well, it's been a really good experience to get a chance to run a show as many times as this and to really bed it in. So it feels like a fantastic launch for the show, which is the second show in a trilogy of shows that I'd like to make. The first was Pulse, and then there's Auld Lang Syne. And yeah, it's been a really, I mean, it's a big physical kind of, it's a big workout physically, vocally, story-wise, but it's great. It's exactly what I should be doing right now, I feel.
That's great. Yeah, so it's a trilogy, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So what's number 3? Can you say
It's
that?
called, well, it's about land, and it's called Island.
Right.
So it's just broad brush strokes at the moment. We haven't made it. Next maybe 2-3 years time I'll have it ready to go.
So you've been working on the structure, there's no music for it yet?
The music is there. That's
Right.
the first thing that always comes with that's what gives me the impetus to make the show, is the music that we make with Dave Gray.
Yeah.
So the two of us in the studio, I start with improvisations. That's where the real broad kind of sense of what's wanting to come out next.
Yeah.
And so everything comes from sound, and then visuals. So all the drawings, images, like the lettering on Auld Lang Syne, the dot images, all of that. Somehow they speak a bit of a picture, and then the last thing is the form and the words for the show. But they all want to relate to my life and the deeper threads that I'd like to pull together. You know, it's in essence bringing something that's old and we've maybe lost touch with its essential elemental qualities, power essentially, and try and make that come alive and make that appropriate again for today. It's as though we've caricatured and lost a lot of the weight in our tradition, and I feel it's sort of still there, and I just want to help to bring it back up at this particular point in the world when we're in such trouble.
Sure. Yeah, and there's tons more material to work on for the rest of your life, really.
Yes, exactly. There's so much. There's so
and
much.
The collaboration with Dave, did you bring that to be, or was it...
Dave Gray?
Yeah.
Well, yes, again, in a way. I mean, I've known him a long time, but I didn't realise he was such a musician. I knew he was an engineer, he had his own studio, and I used to record for other bands out there. And then I had this sense, like, I want to dig where I stand, I want to work with this thing. And then Dave Gray's... And I wanted to learn how to record my own stuff. And then I thought, I just haven't got the time. And it just takes so long to figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm just going to pay somebody for some time in their studio.
Yeah.
And that's when I went into Dave Gray's and started hollering and doing my free improv
using
stuff,
your voice as an instrument.
stuff. Yeah. And he sort of, I think he just went, oh, that sounds great. And then I asked him if he said, would you be all right if I messed about with it? And then he helped to shape the tracks, which we have now. So Dave's a huge part of all of that.
And how's that gone down with the Scottish traditional music?
I think folk are absolutely into it. I mean, Scottish traditional music is actually a really wide church. It's a broad church. There's free improv folkies, and there's pipe bands and ceilidh bands and dance bands and folk clubs, and then there's a slightly freer end of it, which I would sort of... Well, I'm looking at the whole genre. I think traditional music and the most contemporary arts practice can go hand in hand. And traditional arts and deep contemporary activity can go on in absolutely hand in glove. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. So, and I do think, I mean, the people that are coming to the show, lots of people are coming who are folkies, and they all love it. Yeah. Because it's honest, really. Yeah. It's just trying to take the sheen off, or the idea of what we think we maybe are, and present something that's a bit more honest, and just me anyway, I suppose.
Yeah. So moving beyond the shortbread tin, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, just trying to kind of engage with my... I suppose vulnerabilities is in there as well, isn't it? It's
a lot. And
you take that song Auld Lang Syne and how we sing, we'll tack a cup of kindness yet, we all sing it without thinking about it, and I'm like, Actually, that's a lot harder than you think.
Yeah.
Than I think. What is kindness?
Yeah.
We do need it. Can I find it? Do I mean it?
Mm-hmm.
And all of that. And then there's the deep feeling of that sense that these vowels are holding information.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a charge in this song that I was not conscious about until fairly recently.
Mm-hmm.
There is a charge, there's a vibrational charge to this song that I'm convinced is there. And I think that's part of the reason why, without us knowing why really, it's travelled the world the way it has.
I hadn't realised that until seeing the show last night. That even Japanese factories using it to sign people off at the end of the day in a good spirit.
Yeah. Shops everywhere, almost every country sings a song.
Yeah.
And then the other day, actually, I was listening to a kind of a holistic, quite new agey kind of music tape, and it was exactly the same notes. And they were saying it had this interesting kind of vibrational charge with the notes themselves. I don't really talk about the notes, I talk about the vowel sounds.
Yes.
But the notes would be more universal, because they're what everybody does do that. Whereas if it's in a different tongue, it's a different vowel sound, so I'm not entirely sure about that.
Yeah.
But it's great fun.
I think the earworm that you've created in me might be with me for another week or so. But it was a terrific experience. Just moving on a little bit, you're going to take the show on tour in the autumn?
Yeah, a little bit in the autumn.
Are those dates fixed?
We're going to Stirling and Inverness, but this spring we'll have a much bigger tour, so I'm going to make more of that on the website once we get dates up, mostly in Scotland, but I'd love to get down south and go all over really with these shows, whether they'd be about Pulse and Auld Lang Syne. I think the two would be lovely. I'm not sure I could do them in one night, but I think I'd love to present them as a repertoire, and then Island would be very rich.
Well, we have you, it's going to be super. We have you down at Under the Edge Arts on Friday the 15th of March.
I know.
February.
It'd be lovely to see you,
it's going to be terrific.
Yeah.
So,
it's always enjoy your art centre. It's a very friendly place. And it's nice to go back. There's a sense of kind of, just to know. These are relationships that build up, aren't they, over time?
You'll see a few changes there. But we're really looking forward to it. And your daughter started performing now as a band. Can you say a little bit about her work?
Well, she's just finished at Newcastle doing the pop and contemporary music course, and she's singing jazz, and she's called Ada Francis, and she has a little new band which is a trio of female singers, and I think they're Luna Blue. They've just found their name. They're absolutely amazing blending. Talk about blending. It's beautiful. So I'm thrilled. She's well. I'm happy.
Have you coached her a lot? Has she basically developed her own style?
She's developed her own style. Absolutely, very different voice from mine. Very much in her own genre. Open to many different influences at this point. She does know what it feels like, and has been brought up in a freelance folk musician's household, so she knows that you aren't going to earn much, but you'll have an interesting life.
Yes.
Unless you get a movie in Sex and the City, a song in Sex and the City. That was good for a while.
Yeah, but you weren't in the second film, were you?
No.
Maybe you'll be in the third.
There is one.
I don't know. I think you've fallen out with each other.
As they say, what is it they say to the musician who won a lot of money? So what did you do with the money? And the musician said, well, I just kept gigging until the money ran out. That's pretty much it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to meet up with you again, and
you too, man.
I hope tonight goes well, and the following three shows, and have a bit of a rest, and good luck with the tour in the autumn.
Thank you.
Nice to catch up.